Good morning, good morning, good morning. AM has taken it to another level. If you need to up your game, follow in AM's leadership this morning. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Morning Rush, the morning empowerment call for busy executives, heart center leaders causing the change we want to see in the world. Dolly Parton coming in. Man, what a energizing song this morning. We've had some carryover energy week to week with Cara's leadership on Tuesday, so I'm excited for that to continue this morning. And just to start off with the biblical wisdom, lazy hands make for poverty, but diligent hands bring wealth, tying that into promises, commitment, accountability, like diligence around what we say, what we promise, what we commit to, and how we hold ourselves accountable. I will not delay us any further. Cara, back to you.
All right, thanks, David. Today I wanted to tie up the conversations we've had from the last 2 weeks. First, we were talking about we've talked about accountability, we've talked about promises, we've talked about how to keep the promises, and today we're going to talk about alignment. Okay, so and structures. So I have a coach. I have a coach she's the top of like the landmark communications program, and I have accountability buddies. What I'm finding is that in the last 3 years, because I've had these accountability buddies week after week, every Tuesday night, every Monday night, that I'm not really needing the coaching for performance anymore from my coach. Where I go to her is to look at my blind spots. What am I missing? Okay. Or what else can I discover? And I appreciate her listening so that she can hear me. With my accountability buddies, though, I'm seeing that I'm really holding my performance over there versus my coach. Okay. And maybe it's because I've already had a system and structure for the last 3 to 5 years. Okay. So today I have a query. Rihanna, if you could put that up in the chat, that'd be great. Today, the query is, the structures. So what structures for your promises? What have you set up as structures for your promises and accountability? So has anyone, I know that last week, Peter unfolded his whole game. He has a structure and accountability with his coach. Like, how did you unfold that whole game, Peter?
Well, I think, and thank you. I think this is a beautiful example of something else as well. So I committed I'd have the reward chart done last weekend, and then my wife got sick. So life has to change. Right? That's the way it works. So but this is the thing that I thought was relevant. I deferred it to next weekend. I think most people then put it onto like Monday. I'm like, no, Monday was already planned. So if I now move that from Sunday to Monday, I have to move Monday stuff to Tuesday and Tuesday stuff to Wednesday, Wednesday stuff to Thursday. And actually, this is not the most important part. So the structures I have in place are, I have a wife, number one, that is very good at reminding me when I said I'd do something. I have 22 employees that we all speak to each other in the same way. When can that be done by? And if they go, I don't know, it's like, great. When can I know? When will it be done by? And then they say midweek, and I go, is that Tuesday or Wednesday? And they go Tuesday, and I go morning or afternoon. And after about a week, they go 3 p.m. on Tuesday. I'm like, great, thank you very much. Awesome. I also find that we've had to, because we have a lot of people overseas, that you have to be accountable for both sides of the relationship to some degree, because if people overpromise and you knowingly allow them to overpromise, I think you're complicit in their overpromise. So regularly I go to people and say, seriously, like, I don't need this for 4 weeks. Why are you telling me I can have it in half an hour? So I think there's an honesty that's required on both sides. I have a to-do list, a calendar, email.
Hold on. Let me just stop you for 1 second.
Please.
So notice that he is in conversation for what these goals and milestones are. Okay. So he's not doing it himself. He's in conversation to set these milestones. So that's teams and teamwork, it's accountability. And then there's also something else that can be done, which is having a certain percentage of what you think is going to get achieved. So for instance, if I have a construction budget for a real estate project, I always put 20% over that, as a rule. So in performance, sometimes you want to look at, I want to achieve 80% of my goal, if it's a number, okay, or 76, whatever. But as a team, you could decide that. And at that moment, he said, okay, this doesn't work. And that's part of speculation. So he's not doing it himself. He's speculating with his team about those numbers. Okay, sorry.
Yeah, no, thank you. I then have a coach, and she was far more expensive than I can afford. When I hired her, she was $2,500 a month when I was in COVID with no money. But she was a coach that had coached Olympians. And I'm like, that's what I need. I don't need some, respectfully to anyone that's coaching, I don't need someone that's got 5 years. No, I need someone that got people to a gold medal. Because the difference between a silver and a gold is not physical performance or capability. It's the person that really wanted it the most. And her job, exactly like you said, Cara, is to call me on my bullshit. Her job is to say, you said you'd do this and you haven't done this. So what? And we have this exercise called the first domino. Like, what was the first domino that led to the thing that led to the thing that led to the thing? Let's go back to that moment. So, for example, I have a horrible habit if I'm up till 3 o'clock in the morning of eating at 2 o'clock in the morning, because I've run myself ragged and I go past the kitchen and I just want cereal. I just want sugar. But that isn't the problem. The problem is at 10 p.m., I didn't go and get some carrots and some cucumber and some hummus whilst I had all my willpower and made a smart decision. So we're constantly tracking back from the instance of the issue to the problem that caused the thing in the beginning. And then the bit that I do on my own is I retro myself consistently, because I have a complete separation of my being and my doing. And I look at what I do as not my essence of me. Like, even right now, I'm going, did I answer Cara's question? Am I dominating a stage because my ego wants to dominate a stage? Because I know I do. Am I in service of the other people in the room? And all of those got answered quite quickly with no. Cara is a strong personality and a strong leader, and she will cut me off when she wants to cut me off. So I'm in a safe space to carry on talking until she goes, we're done. But I do that constantly, and I then take those to my coach and go, I need to unpack this because I'm consistently making this same mistake.
Okay, great. So let's stop there for 1 second. So he looked with his coach, what's working and what's not working, what's missing, what's the breakdown, right? In his commitment to what he said he was going to do. And then from there, I want to take another level. What can you discover? It's not about making anything wrong in the breakdown or not fulfilling, but what can you discover that would really make a difference? It could be a structure. It could be, okay, it's just a little shift in the mindset of not making things wrong and going down that rabbit hole. So with that, how, when he measures his performance, right? I put something in the chat. It's a PDF document that I use. And I think this is the simplest thing. I've been using this for 5 years now. You list your milestones on your left, and then next to it, you have 3 or 4 action items. And then you measure your performance every week, and you speculate with your team, with your accountability buddies, what was missing. So it's really easy. Milestones on the left and all the action items, and I put them as conversations as a way to train my brain to have conversations rather than to-dos. So the left are to-dos as many milestones, and then the right are action conversations. And the conversations, which the action conversations can be requests. I request that we get this by 8 p.m. or 8 a.m. on Tuesday. So there was a request I made to have have Peter share his weight loss game by 8 a.m. today. And I don't know where that is. So that's where you can mark yourself effective, and you could just track the performance of your promises, your visions, your goals without making anything wrong, which is the trick. I don't know if it's a trick, the discipline, right? So we had that conversation last week, and you'll notice that once your performance starts leveling up, the listening of you changes. It transforms as someone who is powerful, someone who's effective. All right, so this isn't about making yourself wrong or right. This is about how effective you are, or if you're not effective, and it's okay. There's just something to improve. So that is how I see. That's how I measure my alignment to what I declared, what my declaration is through these structures. What are you discovering here? Anyone?
I'm discovering that I want the Google sheet that PDF came from, please, because that looks amazing.
Okay, I sent it to you.
Thank you very much.
Okay, that too, Jackie. Do you have anything to share, Jackie?
I popped in the chat that the game is played, as Peter said, by who wants it the most. Sometimes that's who thinks they're deserving of it, they're worthy of it, they've done the thing to get the thing. So it really comes down to confidence building. And when you know that your choices and your actions actually make a difference because you can see progress, you're actually measuring something, that's a really good bedrock of confidence, for confidence to stand on. So that's what
I got that.
There was
Great, thank you.
a podcast that I heard the other day with Ed Milet, Jackie, and it just plays really into what you just said. He has this philosophy of just one more. And what he's done, according to him, for like 20 years, is he lowers every commitment as low as he can, and then always does just one more. And he says that all of his confidence comes from the fact that he never not succeeds, because he always puts himself in positions where he consistently has the momentum of going, yeah, I did that. Like, he doesn't say, and I hear so many people say, yeah, I'm going to do a $50 million business. I'm like, have you ever done that before? They're like, no. I'm like, how about we just start with 10 grand a month? Like, how about we just start with the ability to pay your bills and high five yourself when you're paying your bills? Like, get there. I think momentum, and I think this is why, Cara, when you said, not making anything wrong, as soon as you make it wrong, you are done. Like, your ability to actually go forward and progress, if you make not it wrong, you wrong. I do it wrong all the time. All the time. But I very rarely make me wrong. And when I do, that's in like an instant red flag coaching moment of like, okay, there's something really deep behind this. Like, and I would stop talking a second, like weight loss. The amount of time I've spent working out how can I build a $400 million company and yet I can't lose weight? Like, how is that true? And the answer is because I was bullied and raped and abused as a kid. So I deliberately got this big so nobody could ever mess with me. And it's so wrapped in my personality, in who I think I am. I can't, and people may disagree with this, or I don't choose to, because no one can disagree with that. I don't choose to unpack all of that right now. I choose to pull that off piece by piece as I go. I've got the strength to uncover a bit more and keep going at that. But that took years of making myself not wrong about losing weight to be able to actually get to the discovery of why it was happening. But all the time I was like, God damn it, why can't you do this, you fucking loser? Like, this isn't hard. All the time I was in that space, there was no progress because all the energy just went into fueling that hatred. And as soon as that got dissolved, I could start actually unpacking it.
Yeah, got that. Great. Thank you. All right, wonderful. So is it the breakout room time? Okay, great. So we have questions. And Rian, if you could put that in the chat. be great. The question is, what structures or promises? What structures do you have for promises and accountability? And are you in conversation for discovery or what's missing? And then we'll have the overtime query. Okay, great. Thanks.
All right, y'all. See you on the other side. Opening the rooms now.